Hi everyone, Tara Adams with Adams Edge Marketing, and this week's blog is Content That Performs in 2020, a roundup of predictions. So every year around this time, we start, if we haven't already, and most marketing agencies and bigger companies, they start around October of the year prior, looking at what worked, looking at what are the predictions to go further. So if you're looking at it now in January, you're like a lot of people who are having to do it themselves and run their business. There's a lot of people that are taking this time after the craziness of the holidays and all of the responsibilities that come with that, to kind of take a breath and to look back. And I urge you to celebrate. That's something I've had to learn over the last few years. The wins are important, and the wins need to be celebrated. We see a lot of these things on social media about put a jar, a positivity jar. So something either you're thankful for, it can be a gratitude jar, it can be something positive that happened, and you read it at the end of the year. I would say for your business, create something that when you get a new client, have a win for your client. If you produce widgets and you produce the most widgets, or you increased your profit margin, whatever the wins are, enjoy them, celebrate them, remind yourself of them, because it's too easy when you're going back at this time of year, looking back. The things that are most painful to us are sometimes the things that we think about the most. And so if marketing is something that you want to make more of an effort in 2020, all the predictions are that content marketing is number one. That's the marketing trend is content, meaning social media, blogs, videos in all of its forms, infographics, not ebooks, well, ebooks, newsletters, e-newsletters. So what does that mean, though? That can be overwhelming, right? Content. I've got to come up with content. Well, so here's my take on it. You can read the blog about the trends, what was happening in 2019, which, my takeaway from all the webinars, the conferences I went to, was that video was the thing. And video is very difficult, and that's something I bring up. The clients I had last year, I celebrate the ones that were brave enough. Well, I celebrate all of them. They were smart enough to come to me. But I celebrate those brave enough to take on video on a personal level, to do what I'm doing, which I got to say, they've inspired me, because this is painful. I had a friend who, he's not a client, but I really enjoyed a video that he did. He did a great job, and it was very informative. And I was like, wow, I really hope you're going to save this. I think it was like an Instagram story. And I'm like, please save this, because this is so informative, and it's such a great way that you explain this. And he said, I'm really glad you enjoy it, because these are just downright painful. And I get it, because I don't enjoy seeing myself. And that's something I hear from my clients. Like, I don't know I don't like how I look. I don't have a great backdrop. I don't have this, that, and the other. And I understand that. And it's taken me a long time to kind of get to the point where I kind of work through some of those challenges. But there's also such a thing as the challenges aren't necessarily as big as you think. If you look around and you look at your social media, unless your feed is really locked down, you're going to see there's a lot of people who are putting themselves out there. You can do it in a car, you can go down your sidewalk, you can go to a park, you can, there's so many places where if the location is an issue, it doesn't have to be. If it's how you look on television, on video, there's definitely things that you can do. In fact, that's probably a future blog to discuss all the excuses and how to deal with them. But I can say that for the clients that I've had that have been brave enough to put themselves on video and be themselves, not try to be a TV news anchor or try to be someone they're not, that they're just who they are, those clients have seen the best engagement and growth and conversions all across the board, all the positives. Now, one of the things I address in here is that a lot of people, what stops them is they don't want the comments. They don't want those negative Nancy's that get on there and they talk about, well, your lisp was really distracting, or I wish you would have talked about this, or whatever. Today, there's nothing you can do in day-to-day life. Forget video. There's nothing that you can do that isn't up for somebody's snark or comment or whatever. Today, you just have to realize, and if it's not where you're at, if you just don't have what it takes to take on that kind of commentary, then you probably are making the right decision not doing video, not being as out there. Because I tell a lot of my clients, if we're doing everything right, you're going to have negative comments. That's how you know you're doing it right, because you're going to tick off your competition. You're going to get people who, the reaction, I think that the reason why people are snarky or kind of negative is because you're doing something that brings up something for them, whether they just don't like that you're doing something they wish they could do, you're doing something better than them, you're reaching into their audience that they've had and now they're starting to lose their audience. Whatever it is, that's generally the reaction you get. And every time I've had a client doing well with growth, engagement, conversions, leads, all of it, it's led to some kind of negativity somewhere along the line. And so I think for my clients, again, the brave ones are the ones that recognize there may be that, but they put it in its place. And that's another whole blog or conversation to talk about how do you handle that and what is the right way to handle it. But I would encourage you not to let that stop you. It's 2020. I'd love for people to address whatever issues they have that cause them to be angry or upset or snarky or negative about things, that they need to comment on it. But I don't think we're there yet. Strategies for 2020. My takeaway right now in January of 2020, before I go to the conferences this year, and I've already signed up for 3 conferences. Those are 3 conferences that I really love. It's digital marketing. Digital. I don't have them in front of me, and I'll probably forget because I'm on video. But Digital Marketing Summit, Digital. It's here in Phoenix. I go every year. I've gone many, many years. It gets better and better every year. I highly recommend it. They have them across the country, so they're very similar, very robust in whatever city they're in. Social media marketing world, and there's a WordPress Phoenix here, and that's always been very helpful. It's very WordPress oriented. I've always worked with WordPress for my clients, but it also has information about everything marketing and web related, not just WordPress. So I've always found a lot of really great information there. So I would say that once I go to those conferences, I'll be getting probably more updated information and predictions that may change this slightly, but I kind of doubt it. I really feel like where we're going is there's information overload. There was something I was reading earlier talking about how we're overloaded on everything. There's too much social media. There's too many blogs. There's too much information on the web. There's too much coming at us. And I think because of that, everyone's talking about simplifying, going back. I think really what's going to happen is, and I believe Google's going to get in on this, you really are going to have to bring it from a content perspective. What do I mean by that? I mean, and I've worked with other people who have done this. They go online and find information about their topic, and they say, oh, these blogs, they say about the same thing. Let's just like rewrite this, that's not going to work anymore. That may have worked before. It's not going to work now. You're going to have to really be creative in creating content that is unique, that you have your own something to say about that subject. So like for me with content marketing, I preach a lot of not going for huge numbers, going for quality, not quantity, and for being yourself. And I see the power in that. I see how that's working. There's other people kind of saying the same thing, but I have sort of a unique viewpoint on it. One, because I know that it works. I've seen my clients get returns on investment and leads and conversions. And two, because it seems to be the best practice from an organic SEO perspective for certain people. I don't want to give the impression that this is great for everybody across the board. There's certain types of businesses that work best with the certain types of content strategy that we use. But what I am saying is you need to be unique. You need to bring something to the table that there's not 100 other voices saying the exact same thing. I'm sure your industry has something that you have a unique take on, and it's going to be that information that's going to lead you forward in the digital marketing space. So my best advice is to find whatever your unique position, thought, or experience is within your industry and start really writing about that, because that's where we're going. There's some other ideas in here, definitely about content, such as because I mentioned Convince and Convert again. I love this website. Search Engine Journal is a very good resource. Core DNA had a blog that talked about personalized content. I'm very much in favor of that. So not just being unique with your own content that you're creating, but speaking to if you sell widgets and you sell them to men, women, women who work, women who are stay-at-home moms, men who are, if it's different demographics, different personas, then sell to each one individually, not trying to group everyone together. I hope that makes sense. And so I linked to them so that you have more in-depth information about their predictions and their takeaways, about video, voice-activated content, user-generated content, EAT, which is short for expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness, which is everything that I'm about, and we'll probably do a future blog about. But read our blog and check out the links and get more information. And I think 2020 is going to be an exciting year for content. And again, if you have any questions, if you'd like an audit, if you'd like to see what working with Adam's Edge marketing looks like, and if you just want to connect about content marketing, give us a call, check out our contact page, and have a great day. Thanks so much.